betting preview. I'm going to be here for the next 10 or 15 minutes giving you my best bets in all 8 groups. I'm also going to be giving my top goal scorer and my overall winner, and I'll throw a couple of long shots in there as well too. So let's get straight into it in Group A. Now Group A for me has got Uruguay written all over it as group winners. It really has. They tick every box for me in what you're looking for a group winner. Strong defence, strong attack. Obviously we know what they pose at the back with the Atletico Madrid pairing of Jimenez and Godin at the back. Edison Cavani and Luis Suarez up front. Finished second in qualifying, only behind Brazil, ahead of Argentina, ahead of Colombia. So I fully expect Uruguay to win this group. The team I'm expecting to struggle are Russia. I know they're the hosts, and the hosts normally do well, don't they? Now, Russia have got a really aging squad. In fact, I think there's 11 players out the squad at age 29 and over, and I'm fully expecting at least 6 or 7 players to be over 30 years of age in the starting lineup on Thursday against Saudi Arabia. Now, a lot of the Russian fans online, I've been looking on YouTube, a lot of interviews, they have said this is the worst Russian team they've ever seen. They've got no quality in the squad anymore, and if you cast your mind back to 2016 in the European Championships when Portugal won, Russia were in a group with England, Wales and Slovakia. They finished bottom of that group too. So the writing's been on the wall for this Russian team. And if you can even look at their friendly matches, having said all what I've just mentioned, the friendly matches, they haven't won a friendly match in 7. Even a defeat a couple of weeks ago to Austria. Austria couldn't get anywhere near qualifying for this tournament either. So it says a lot if they're getting beat off teams that didn't even qualify for the tournament. And the lowest ranked team in the tournament, which says a lot anyway, they're the worst team in it, ranked 70th. So that for me says a lot about this Russian team. There's huge pressure on them. And top of that too, I know there's 1 or 2 players have actually come out of retirement as well for Russia. It says a lot about obviously the average age of their team. Now, I'm hoping obviously Mohamed Salah will be fit, that way Egypt can get 2nd place. So the bet for me in this one is Uruguay to win the group at 10-11 and Russia not to qualify at 5-2. Bit of a brave one, yeah, I know with the host, but that's what I'm going with. In Group B, winners Spain for me, I think they are the best team, arguably in the whole tournament. They've ticked every box, best goalkeeper, best defence, best midfield. Now, the striker thing worries me, obviously with Costa up front. They haven't used him a lot and they have dragged him off, and he brought Aspas on. He scored a couple of goals too, but I don't know, I think the rest of the team says a lot for them. They pass the ball better than anyone else, and don't forget he wiped the floor with Argentina in training in a friendly a couple of weeks ago too, which says a lot again. Now if we're looking at Iran in this group, a very defensive team. They conceded 2 goals in qualifying, yet not the strongest group, I get that, but they do contain, I'll try my best to pronounce this correctly, Jahan Bakash. Now he's the top goal scorer in Dutch League football for AZ Alkmaar, so fully expect Iran to be a very defensive team and hit teams on the counter with Jahan Bakash. Hope I got that correctly for any Dutch League viewers out there, so I hope I got that correct, and he can pose a threat from the counter. The team I do fancy to finish 2nd in this group behind Spain are Morocco. I'm not having Portugal at all. Basically on the basis of they hit Spain on the first game. Now if they lose that first game, there's huge pressure on Portugal as it is, and that will give Morocco a free rein against Iran to get 3 points above Portugal with 2 games to go, and I'm not sure that Portugal can cope with this pressure. I know they won the previous Euros, but I'm not sure. You've got to then beat the other 2 teams as well. So the team I'm tipping is Morocco, as I just said there, to qualify. They topped the group in qualifying, above the Ivory Coast, don't forget them, Ivory Coast are no slouches. Now coach Reynard has won 2 African Cup of Nations with Zambia, with the Ivory Coast, and he's obviously in charge of Morocco, so he knows tournament football like the back of his hand. So for me in this one, Morocco to qualify, best priced at 4-1, and maybe a Spain-Morocco forecast, best priced at 6-1. Let's get into Group C. Now Group C, France obviously favourites to win the group. Now are they individuals or are they a team? You're just looking for Deschamps to keep some harmony and keep everyone happy. The team spirit is normally it's awful. Let's put it bluntly. It is normally with France. I know they got to the final in the Euros. Now, there's a lot of big egos in this France team, and I'm not as sure if Deschamps can keep them all happy. Looking at them back, Giroud, Griezmann, Dembele, Pogba, Lamar, even the player that Liverpool nearly signed from Lyon last week in Nabil Fekir, he's in the squad too. So they've got huge attacking threat. Having said all that, they didn't excite in qualifying. I think they drew with Luxembourg in qualifying too. So if I'm looking for a bit of value in this, I'll probably go with Denmark to qualify in the group. So if you're looking for a bit of a dual forecast, the two teams to qualify, I will pick France and I will pick Denmark. Reason being for Denmark, they finished well in qualifying, they really did, like a house on fire. They beat Ireland 5-1 in the playoffs. They drew with Germany in a friendly a couple of weeks ago too. And I like the spine of their team too. They've got obviously Kasper Schmeichel in goal, Leicester's Kasper Schmeichel, Chelsea's Christiansen, obviously a quality player in Christian Eriksen, he plays for them as well. And they've got attackers in Feyenoord Jorgensen, Poulsen for Leipzig, and also Celta Vigo's Sisto. So Denmark for me and France to qualify in that group. In Group D, now this is the interesting one for me. Group D is, I know Argentina are favourites 4 to 6 to win the group, 1 to 10 to qualify. Now I'm going to say Argentina will qualify from this group, but I don't think they'll go far in the tournament. Reason being, if you looked at them in qualification, they struggled badly. It's a case of like a football manager and they throwing all players in a hat and seeing how it works. They've gone through 3 coaches in recent years. A lot of formations have been used. In that qualification, they relied on a Lionel Messi hat-trick in the last game to get them through qualification. Now, if you look at their attacking threat, Messi, Aguero, Di Maria, Higuain, Diablo, attackers in abundance, but I don't think they know how to play. I really, really don't, and I don't think the coaches either. That's why they've used 3 coaches in recent times. Heavy reliance on Lionel Messi, and as I just mentioned in the previous group, absolutely battered by Spain in a friendly match, and that way in a friendly match, by the way, there was a lot of yellow cards in that. So I'm reading a lot into that friendly match too, is that Spain are a lot better than Argentina. Big questions over this Argentina team. Now also in the group of Croatia and Iceland. Now I know Croatia, a lot of people's dark horses in this, and they have got Modric and Rakitic as a centre midfield pairing, so you would expect them to go deep into the tournament. But having said that, Iceland are in the same group as Croatia, like they were in qualification, and Iceland finished above Croatia as well. So listen, you can flip a coin on either if you want to finish group. So I just think with the Modric and Rakitic in there, I'd probably expect them to qualify with Argentina. So yeah, 4 to 5 on a forecast there for Croatia and Argentina, any way you like it. But a little bit of value in this group, in Group D, is Otamendi. He's beat Argentina's Nicolas Otamendi, obviously well known for playing for Manchester City. He picked up 7 bookings in qualification, more than anyone else, streets ahead of anyone else in that qualification group. Now he's 6 to 1 to receive the most bookings for Argentina in this tournament, so I think that's worth a bit of value there. 6 to 1, Nicolas Otamendi to be booked more times for Argentina than any other player. Excuse me. Let's get into Group A, which contains favourites Brazil. Now Brazil won the South American group at an absolute canter. 10 points above Uruguay, 13 points above Argentina. I love their formation, the 4-3-3. Two very good goalkeepers in Alisson and Ederson. We know what they're about. We've seen them for Manchester City and Roma. Now, Silva at the back, Miranda, Danilo and Marcelo at the back as a solid back 4. Casemiro, Paulinho and Manchester City's Fernandinho as a midfield 3. And up front, you've just got to love Gabriel Jesus, Philip Coutinho and obviously Neymar as well. So they pose an attacking threat in abundance. And if you look at their bench as well, it's absolutely frightening. Firmino, Willian, Douglas Costa can't get anywhere near their team. So fully expect Brazil to win that group. Switzerland are second favourites to qualify in this group, and I don't know why. They straight past Northern Ireland in the playoffs, don't we remember? We tend to remember 1-0. Serbia in this group too, and I'm tipping Serbia to get through. They're a young team, Serbia. Now, they had a bit of value. They put Wales and Ireland to the swords in qualification. They've got Tadic, they've obviously got Mitrovic, who obviously done well for Fulham this season. Manchester United's Matic as well. Mihajlovic in there too, so they've got some talented players and obviously a lot of youngsters in that squad too. So a straight forecast for me in this one. Brazil versus Serbia at 2-1. And as I mentioned in the previous group as well with Spain and Portugal, is that Switzerland played Brazil in the first game. So Brazil put Switzerland to the sword early doors. That'll give Serbia the chance to get the 3 points early doors, and then they are playing catch-up Switzerland. So then you'll be looking on half your salary straight away. You'll be getting offered on a cash-out with Brazil and Serbia. So Brazil and Serbia, that one for me, at 2-1 on your forecast. Group F contains world champions Germany. Well, the only team in Europe with 100% records in qualification. 43 goals in qualifying. I think they conceded 4. The reigning World Cup champions. What's not to like about this German team? Look at their records. 1998 reached the quarter-finals. Runners-up 2002. Semi-final 2006. Semi-final 2010. Winners 2014. Just like backing a horse in the Grand National that's won the race before. You know what you're getting with this German team. They're a course and distance winner. You're going to get value for your 5 or 6 to 1 that are currently offering. You know you're going to get there. They've been there, seen it, done it, got the t-shirt. Having said all that, they've kept 1 clean sheet in the last 8, conceded against Saudi Arabia, but I don't think even that could put anyone off. I just don't know why, but maybe because a lot of German players didn't stand out this season in the Champions League. Maybe that's the case. Maybe there are plenty in the tank for the tournament. I don't know, but Mexico for me, a bit of value in this to finish runners up. Mexico have reached the last 16 of the World Cup in the last, well, since 1990, which says a lot. And for them to reach the last 16 of the game, the 9-4. So, bet for me in this one, Germany, Mexico, straight forecast at 2-1. Also looking at that group as well as Sweden. Now they've got a player called Marcus Berg who scored 8 goals in qualifying. Now Marcus Berg is 11-4 to be Sweden's top goal scorer in this tournament. Now he may only need 2 goals, and that's all it'll take. So 11-4 Marcus Berg wouldn't put anyone off that being Sweden's top goal scorer in the tournament. Group G contains England. Now I don't know about you, but I like the look of this England team, and I think a lot of people can get behind them for once, because they're very likeable. I think the manager's likeable as well. I think he's got the media in the palm of his hands. There's got to be no pressure on this England team, which if you look at England teams gone by, they've gone into it like kids in a schoolyard, just petrified. I look at this England team, there's no pressure on them. Every player knows the system. Southgate speaks well. And I think they can go deep into the tournament. I think what's pivotal as well is that it doesn't matter if they win this group or not, because we will play Poland, Senegal, Colombia or Japan if they finish runners-up or winners anyway, and I don't think any of them would scare England at all. So you fully expect England to get to the last 16, maybe even the quarter-finals. So I know they are in a group with Belgium, but everyone's tipping Belgium to do well. I just look at Belgium and I think, yeah, they've got stars such as Lukaku, Hazard, De Bruyne, plays at that ilk, but like France, they've got individuals, and I don't think Roberto Martinez, he will struggle to keep a lid on all these Belgian players, and they're very, very outspoken. We've seen what Belgian footballers are like, very, very outspoken. We've seen even Romelu Lukaku said the other day that he thinks, even if you wouldn't like to admit it, he said that this Belgian squad is better than Manchester United, and he's going to go back to Manchester United in pre-season. You don't say things like that. They're very outspoken, and I'm not sure that Roberto Martinez can keep a lid on this Belgian team and on these big egos. Add to that, Martinez plays wide open football, leaves the teams open at the back, and what's not helping as well is that Vincent Kompany and Toby Alderweireld are injured. Well, they're not injured as such, but they're not 100% fit. They've been struggling all season. So I think Belgium will qualify in this group along with England, but I don't think they'll go deep into the tournament at all. Tunisia nailed on for 3rd at 5-6. Panama is my tip to finish bottom at 1-2. I even like the look of them to finish with no points at 5-2. I think baseball's their national sport in Panama. I think they declared a public holiday as soon as they qualified. Conceded more goals than they actually scored in qualification. They finished, I think, 3rd or 4th in their qualifying. So they're very lucky to get through, and I can't see them even getting anywhere near a point in this tournament. So Panama to finish bottom at 1-2 and 5-2 to finish with no points. Let's go to Group H, as I've just mentioned there. Final group of the tournament. Now there's no standout team, as I've just mentioned there, which the odds suggest to. Poland Obviously very good in qualification, Lewandowski impressive, top goal scorer in qualification in that group. 25 points from a possible 30 for Poland. It's quite an open group. Senegal, I like the look of, they topped it, albeit a poor group in qualifying, but I like the spine of their team too. Koulibaly plays for Napoli, centre back. Everton's just gone, a guy in midfield, and obviously Liverpool's Sadio Mane too. Obviously Merseyside eyes will be watching Senegal. I'm tipping them to qualify. I'll go with them to qualify at 5-4. Bit of value maybe even to win the group of 4-1. I can't have Japan. I just can't have them at all. I think you got a new manager a couple of months ago. He had 3 matches and lost all 3, so I think they're in a bit of turmoil. So the tip for me, maybe Senegal to qualify at 5-4 and Japan to finish bottom at 6-5. Now, the all-impressive top goal scorer. Now, this is where the odds are absolutely huge. And if you look back at past winners, 1998, Davor Suker, 33-1. Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo in 2002, lowest bet 16-1 he was pre-tournament. 2006, Miroslav Klose, remember him for Germany? He was 25-1 to be the top goal scorer. Even cast your mind back to 2010, 8 years ago, German attacker Thomas Muller was 100-1 to become the top goal scorer. And 4 years ago, Colombia's James Rodriguez was a whopping 150-1 to become the top goal scorer. All them odds duly obliged, so look for the value when it comes to top goal scorers. Now, I'm going to go with, for me, Neymar. I know he's red off favourite at the moment. I'm just going to have a look at his current price. I'm sure Neymar and Messi around about the 10-11-1 in this tournament to become top goal scorer. Will Argentina go deep enough for Lionel Messi to become top goal scorer? I'm not so sure. So let's have a look at the Golden Boot contenders. We've got Neymar 11-1. Now Brazil have got quite an easy run up to the semi-final. They really have. Neymar arguably was the best player in this tournament 4 years ago until he got that injury. He's a very selfish player, as we know. We've seen him take penalties off Edinson Cavani for Paris Saint-Germain. And I look at Brazil when they're attacking, when they got Gabriel Jesus and Neymar and Coutinho, running at players. They're going to get a lot of free kicks around the box. They're going to get a lot of penalties. Who takes them? Neymar. So you're looking at that 11-1 for Neymar. I wouldn't put anyone off that. I'm going to be backing myself at 11-1. So let's look for a bit of value. Kylian Mbappe. The reason being he's decent odds. I'm predicting in a couple of years' time, I don't think he'll be 33-1 to become the top goal scorer in the World Cup tournaments. He may be a lot shorter. France have fitted him in their team because he's a huge talent, as we've all seen in the Champions League football this season. So 33-1, maybe a couple of quid each way on Kylian Mbappe. The 3 players at big odds I like the look of. Edinson Cavani, 33-1 he was this week. I know a couple of shrewdies out there, he's currently 25-1. So ignore that 33s, he's currently 25s. For Uruguay, they've got a reasonably easy group. Obviously they've got Russia, Egypt and Saudi Arabia, so you'll fully expect them to get a couple of goals in the group. And don't forget, he finished top goal scorer in South American qualification this season. Ahead of your Neymar, ahead of your Coutinho's, ahead of your Falcao's, ahead of everyone else. So it says a lot ahead of your Messi, so it says a lot for me. Edinson Cavani finished top goal scorer in qualifying, so that 25-1, it contains a bit of value, it really does. A couple of rank outsiders for me. Iago Aspas, remember the lad who's played for Liverpool. Now, Spain normally contain with Costa up front. We all know what he's about. Obviously, we've seen him in Premier League. He now plays for Atletico Madrid. I'm unsure whether he suits their system the way he plays. He's been dragged off in recent games, and Aspas has came on and scores a couple of goals. Scored 2 goals in qualification. He's only played 3 games. And he scored against Argentina in a pre-season friendly. He scored against Tunisia this week in a friendly as well. So I think that Aspas at 80-1 has got some value in it. Mainly because if Costa doesn't set the world alight early doors, I think Diego Costa could be getting dragged off and Aspas will be given his chance. And in their group, he will have a chance of scoring. So Aspas at 80-1, bit of value in that for me. And also as well, if you like to look at that, Isco, you've got to look at Isco. He was Spain's joint top goal scorer in qualification. He can easily play as a false nine for Spain if they don't like the likes of Costa or if Aspas isn't doing it. So I think them two, a bit of value in there for me, and you fully expect Spain to go deep into the tournament too. So they're my tips for them. Neymar maybe has a really good bet at 11-1. And Mbappe, I'm unsure on, but it's got value at 33-1. And a couple of outsiders, Cavani, Aspas and Isco, 33s, 80s and 50s respectively. So who's going to win it? I'm struggling between Spain and Brazil. I'm looking at Brazil and thinking, will the mental scars of what happened in the last World Cup? I'm unsure. If I'm going for a team, I've got to look at the best team in the tournament, and it's Spain. It really is. They've got the best goalie on the planet in David De Gea. They've got the best defence. If you look at their defence, Alba, Carvajal, Piqué, it's got Ramos. And if you're looking at the players you can't even get in that defence, as a Belcanton of Chelsea. So there's their defence sources. They arguably got the best goalkeeper, the best defence. Look at their midfield. Busquets, Isco, Koke, Iniesta, David Silva. Even the likes of Asensio can't even get anywhere near the midfield. It is the forward line which worries me. But as I've just mentioned, the goals come from all over the team. Aspas can chip in, obviously Diego Costa, Thiago. I just look at them and they are the best team in the tournament. Very good in qualification, didn't lose a game. Scored 36, only conceded 3. I just like the look at them. Our current odds, let's have a look currently as we speak. What odds they are. I'm sure they are 13-2 at the start of the week. They are the best team in the tournament. They really are, and I can't see past them. Whether they've got the mentality to get past the Germany, I'm unsure, because Germany have obviously been there, seen it and done it. Let's look for World Cup. Yeah, 6-1 currently, 6-1 to win it. So yeah, Spain for me, outsiders, bit of value in it. Brazil to reach the final as well. So Spain-Brazil final and Spain overall to win it. They'll avoid each other as well if they both win their groups right up until the final, which adds a bit more value to it too. So hope I've put you in the direction here for all your World Cup bets. The very best of luck wherever you're putting them. I know there's a lot of guys out there putting your permutations on groups and top goal scorers. Best of luck. Have a couple of quid on anything you fancy, like the look of. As I've just mentioned there, big odds on James Rodriguez last year, 150-1. Year before, 4 years before, Thomas Muller, 100-1. So don't let a price put you off. Best of luck, and I'll see you next time on Scotty Bet TV.